Dude, thanks so much for coming through, Rant.
Hey, it's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
You guys have had a really aggressive. You have so many shows. You guys always play so many shows, but you have had a pretty big tour year, right?
It's a lot. I hate being like, oh my gosh, it's a lot, but it's a lot. It's been like kind of off. I guess I've been home for 5 weeks over 4 months, which is not a lot. So it's and there's a lot of international touring, which is a little bit more work than going to Cleveland. You know what I mean?
Where were you guys internationally?
We had we played Java Jazz, which is in Indonesia. So we're starting with that one.
That's
from
awesome.
Hamburg, Germany to Indonesia. Okay, that's weird, but it was fun. And then we did Japan, we did Australia, Hawaii, Europe tour, Seattle. So a lot of different places.
What is international lettuce like?
Really fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, lettuce is always really fun.
We are a fun situation.
I can't comprehend lettuce outside of the a United States context.
It depends on the country and the fans.
Yeah.
Because like Japan, they all clap like to get, like they do that for the encore.
Yeah.
And and they're a little different. But like Germany, they be rocking. They're
Hell
fun.
yeah.
They're fun. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah. Are they getting down?
Are
they grooving?
They're very much, yeah. Certain places like Zurich, they're kind of chill. But it's just like the audience, and maybe there's some young musicians that are there.
Yeah.
And then it could be like they're raging in the front row. They know how to act.
Right.
So it becomes infectious. And then after the show, everyone's like so stoked. And, there's not many bands like Lettuce.
No.
There really are.
An
actual band,
yeah.
Not a bunch of cats that play together or, So there's no no real leader of the bands. That's what, it's like a democratic, process. So I think it just makes for a different kind of show and experience, especially because the band's been going for 33 years. So to have them in Europe, you don't see that. Like what, Tower of Power? That's a whole different thing. Or like James Brown.
It's a total different generation.
Well said. So I feel that people are really starting to get hip and be like, these guys are, you're having fun. You're not chit-chatting at the show. You're dancing.
You also have especially in Japan, there's such an appreciation for jazz culture. And you guys you're funk, you're lyrical, but you are also especially you, fucking hell of a good players.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Nice work.
And I think being in cultures where there's so much appreciation for that musically, is just,
and that's the
so
Europe.
Cool.
That's it's the international thing. It's not like Americans don't. We get down, we have fun.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And they very much appreciate the musicality and level. But you go over there, I think that's even, like you said, it's even more revered.
Yeah.
Or respected. So that so it makes you feel good being over there.
I can't believe my mind was blown that Lettuce has been at it for 33 years.
It's kind of weird.
That's crazy.
That's not normal.
No, that's a long time.
It's almost too long, some would say.
But Nigel obviously has been has been in the game for an incredibly long time.
Sure.
But I don't think I realized that Lettuce dates back,
to 92.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah. They all met at the whole Berklee thing.
Right.
They go in a summer program and then just became friends and then had such the only guys really playing funk, or they found a crew and they stuck together, and there's been a lot of ups and downs, meanings the band hadn't worked for a long time. Then this guy got a big gig. This guy, this the whole thing. And I think it was 15 years ago, they kind of put their foot down. And we kind of started to really tour and put the band first.
Yeah.
And then, and it's been great. Obviously, we're working a lot.
That really tracks with at least when my, let's call it exposure to Lettuce. I feel first began New York City, 2010.
Sure. That's kind of, that's it.
You guys started playing Brooklyn, early
Brooklyn
days
Bowl.
Brooklyn Bowl.
Yeah, that was the home. That
right.
was our home.
And I remember going to a couple of those shows and being what is happening here? This is so badass. Bands are back. Bands are back.
Bands are cool. Bands are cool.
Because also I think culturally at that moment too, you have kind of the rise of EDM happening. You have like, of course, like Fish is around and is starting on the comeback, a
That's
different kind of
right.
cultural trajectory.
Right.
Like, so I think, and then you also have kind of the ways that other bands were sort of filling in these, scene based live music gaps.
Mm.
Like, and I feel like that's where like, the pressure cooker of what like how we know Lettuce today really like came
Yeah,
about.
that's a good point. I don't think enough people talk about that, like what was happening musically in the
Yeah.
scene. But then they just started to play more dates and more festivals, and like really quickly. So and then the albums that were already out really became. And then right then, I believe that we did Fly,
Yeah.
which was like before like we started doing Crush and Crush More, the
Yep.
the Grammy nominated album, all that stuff. So yeah, it was just a great time for the band, musically and just to get out in the world. So
I also think like you had the benefit too. There was the benefit in addition to just being like great, wonderful shows, like such fun hangs. I also think like you had especially with like Crushmore and everything, you had the benefit of distribution with like Sirius XM,
oh yeah,
and like Jam
Ari,
On. Yeah, Ari
Ari,
like
big
pushing,
for us.
dude. Ari like pushing it was like, it just becomes an earworm.
It was a great
like
it was a great period.
yeah.
For like the whole scene, but he was so big for many bands.
Yes, exactly.
And it was just like a warmth. There was a warmth going on in the world at those things were a little bit more innocent. I don't know. People just got like people really supported it. People were going out.
Totally. Completely.
We were all going out, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Until
It's like that's my very probably I don't think it was my first Lettuce show, but it was like third or fourth. New York City. It was a post Fish. Like I don't think it was on New Year's Eve, but like one of those like late night shows. I don't even remember where it was. Like Hell's Kitchen. Someone like had the plug for me to like get in somehow.
Classic,
like
yeah.
it was one of those like fun things, like
was,
that. But what blew my absolute mind was, all right, I'm here. I'm engrossed in the groove. I look over, John Starks.
Oh yeah.
New York Knicks.
Yeah.
And that like blew my mind in ways absolutely incomprehensible.
It's fun to have those kind of cats at your show. It's great. Well, Schmeen's our guitarist who is a major, and Deitch, but really Schmeen's a major basketball expert, and also, not playing, but
Yeah.
he can shoot. And is a Knicks lover, and we have a lot of Knicks friends, and we, Charles Dolan, the son for Talk, is one of his good friends and our good friends, and the list goes on. So we have a lot, we had Cliff Robinson in some games.
What?
Oh yeah. At our shows. Yeah, it's like we like
Trailblazers that. Legend.
I know. He passed. Didn't he pass? R.I.P.
I think so.
If he did pass, R.I.P. If you're alive, still we love you. But I think he passed. And just like we have like all types of random people, like chefs. We wine people, chefs. We like that. I don't want just a bunch of like music students.
Right.
You guys are you guys. I'm like,
that jam didn't go hard enough.
Yeah, or like you guys like I need more harmonic development. I mean, and I agree, but I just want to have fun. Something about Lettuce. We were playing recently at Ronnie Scott's in London.
Hell yeah!
And we played. It was magical. It was like the last night. It was just sometimes shows are great, and then
right. Transcendent.
Thank you. And as every band has this stuff, and then there was a super dope band playing like totally different, but kind of like straight eighth, like modern things, and they were so killing individually and as a group. But like everyone started talking over it, like people start,
the yapping,
and they were, and they were waiting a line to get in there. I'm just like, Lettuce has this thing that our energy is through the roof, but we want people to dance. It's an experience, and people. You're not really talking at our shows. I mean, people, which is great, and I think that's the takeaway. It's like we're bringing that part back.
Yeah.
It's not just like listening music and you can like talk a little bit. If you want to talk, sure, but like you're not in the front doing that. Like don't ruin the experience. So I feel like Lettuce is just like such a fun thing to do. If you want to break from like too heady of music.
Yeah.
If you want something like to dance, like to bring it back to why we do this, I think lettuce is your answer.
Yeah.
I know why I'm giving ourselves a ringing endorsement here. But,
All right,
you know,
no, dude, but that's like, you look like, how music makes a concert goer feel is such an important part of the product of a band and music. And I think that's like so perfectly said about how Lettuce's funk kind of like brings people in. Like, not to go back to the John Starks thing, but like that blew my mind because if you hang out in that world long enough, you don't see a lot of like John Starks. Like,
no.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like, I was mind blown. I was like, dude, like I have probably pages upon pages of basketball cards of John Starks. And I was like
so cool.
millennial starstruck. Like, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing that like, here he is
it's an
at
honor.
a Lettuce show.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing right? Whatever we're doing.
And then, of course, like, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 years later was whenever there was the distinction of like Lettuce being the Knicks house band.
Mhm.
Like, and I was just like, well, yeah, that tracks. Like,
Yeah.
I saw John Starks in a
Yeah,
show.
then you start putting the pieces together.
Yeah, like I remember we were hanging out at our office in Soho, and like, one of my friends, it was like a music friend. She was like, isn't this crazy? Like Lettuce is like the house band. I was like, yeah, but
It's
like,
kind of crazy.
makes sense.
Yeah, I think our Schmeens wrote Madison Square.
Yeah,
You know, and that was a theme song for like 6 years or more.
Yeah,
It was pretty crazy.
yeah, that was super cool.
Fun time for us in those New York days.
Dude. Of course. Well, so big tour.
Big tour.
You mentioned we can get into the album stuff, but before that,
Sure.
you mentioned Berklee and all the Berklee stuff. You guys are doing this super cool scholarship.
We are.
And
Yeah.
this is like from my POV, super awesome. And I want to talk about it early on in our chat because both of my parents were public school music educators.
There you go.
My mom taught general music, middle school general music.
Wow.
My dad was a
What a
band director.
saint. Holy crap. Wow.
And so like I have such a soft spot for anyone that like is working to advocate on music education, like because it does change lives in a incredible way.
100%, especially where your parents were in that part of the process. Where they kind of were age-wise. But the Berklee thing, I think at Deitch, I didn't go to Berklee. I went to New England Conservatory across the street. And then I went to Berklee for like a quick little period, but I'm an NEC guy, but the rest of the boys are big Berklee guys.
Can I pause you on that?
Sure.
Is there like conservatory beef? Is there
Slightly,
like, how does that,
love
how's
it.
that work?
I don't want to get too into it.
You got Berklee Juilliard and like New England Conservatory.
I mean,
and
Juilliard's in New York. Then you have like Manhattan School of Music.
And like Curtis in Philadelphia and everything.
No, generally conservatory is more for classical. And then but NEC has a great jazz side. I don't like the word jazz, but for this context, a jazz program.
Right.
And a lot of like free, emphasis on like free avant-garde stuff as well. So it's actually kind of hip where Berklee really wasn't doing all that. But Berklee did everything else. That's like, Berklee's where you meet people.
Right.
Berklee is a fabulous, the amount of money they have poured it, they keep in the school. That you can do anything. You can be the music production side. There's a Lettuce ensemble.
Yeah.
Like if I had have known that when I was younger, I didn't get into Berklee when I was younger. I wasn't good enough. Or I didn't get enough money. I didn't have enough to do that because I'm not like come from good money. And they have a Lettuce ensemble run by Jeff Lockhart, one of our good friends, one of the greatest guitarists ever. And it's an honor to have that. And I think like that's crazy to have a bunch of kids coming up like that. So Adam Deitch I think it was mainly his idea. I don't know. We're gonna get quoted on this, but he was the one who kind of helped push it through with our help of Hillary, our manager. But it really came through, and it took a long time to get work. But $1 a ticket out of every show.
That's so awesome.
And which isn't a lot. I mean, it is and it isn't.
Yeah.
When you break down the numbers, it adds up. Yeah. And one kid every year to go to school. I think is our goal. That's amazing because I could have used that when I was a kid, and now we get to help.
Yeah.
We're just out there playing gigs for the right reasons, and then we get to help someone else do that, and I just think it's kind of crazy, and I don't feel I don't be like more people should do it, but I'm glad we're doing it,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to see. We're gonna know this person for like ever.
Yeah.
Like 10 years are gonna go by. We're gonna like we can have like side bands. They can be our subs.
That's so cool.
it's such a great thing. I'm really happy it's starting to work out. I can't wait to. There's so much you can do with this. You can like make an ensemble. You can like we can go to Berklee and maybe like do an audition process. There's so many things we could do. I don't know. I'm really kind of scheming a little bit.
Do you feel like that kind of critical era when you're young, when you're like in that age of like 18, you're out of high school and you want to study music, but you really what you need is like time and space, like to do it,
Yeah.
and also like guidance because like you don't know jack
don't-
from shit at that age.
You really don't. You think you do.
You think you do, but you just don't.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's you need time, obviously, to work things out and to be exposed to things, and then the space to be able to process that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went to a school. My first school was William Patterson, and it's in North Jersey. And then you're not in the city with all of those pressures and crazy things. And Berklee, why I like Boston for college, because there's not that much going on late night musically. So you can gig, but not really.
Right.
So it's like you're practicing, you're hanging out with everyone in the schools, or you're like playing in different ensembles, or your boy's got a little gig, you check that out. It's a slower pace for you to be able to digest and learn. I think and then you have New England Conservatory literally down the road. Then you have like Boston Conservatory, and there's a great, there's multiple music programs in that small city.
Before you started like getting into like feeling the funk, did you want to go like the orchestral route and like all of that sort of stuff?
I thought it was a little jive, you know what I mean? A little jive. No, I love classical music. I'm super into classical music and always have been, but now like I go see the Denver Colorado Symphony all the time. Get tanked and go. It's really great. Like you got a Brett Tolman, it's the best. And no, I think I didn't want to go that route because I did Allstate and I did things like that. And I think it's important, especially as a trumpet player or like a wind instrument player, to really get the technique together. I think you can't on any instrument. Technique it should be never stop, because then you can get all the ideas you have in your head out.
Yeah,
it's the only. You can also not, and a combination of that. But on trumpet, like you stop playing, I haven't played in like 2 days, and I got this big gig coming up tomorrow, the jam thing, whatever the heck it is. I don't know, and I'm just like, but in practice, it's like, it's crazy. So when you're on the road with Lettuce, 5 days, that fifth day is pretty good.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like my dad's a trombone player, so like
you've been hearing this your whole life.
Oh, my whole life, and like he can't go more than a couple days without playing because he'll lose it. And then like whenever
Endurance.
he needs to play, like, he'll be like, oh my gosh, I am horrible.
It's crazy because you have like, your last memory is like you at the fourth day sounding really good. And then you take a day off to rest. And then maybe you take like another day off because you're doing life. And there's so many muscles in the embouchure. Same thing with like bass, stand-up bass, also because you have calluses on your fingers. Like it's so physical.
Yeah.
Where guitar and piano in particular, and drums, but like you lose endurance. I think that's the thing. And also on trumpet, you lose actual range.
Yeah.
Your lips stop vibrating and you start cracking more notes. It's like, dude, I'm like, I kind of suck. You're paying me for this right now? You're paying me for this?
Dude, so before we get into talking about some of the new projects, who are some of your biggest trumpet influences?
I could go the normal route with like Louis Armstrong.
Yeah, I don't want you to do that.
And and Clifford Brown and Lee Morgan and Miles and Dizzy and Freddie, the best. And Rory was not my contemporary because he's like, I used to listen to him when I was a kid, but I'd do jam sessions with Rory Hargrove, and be around him, and we played with Lettuce and Soul Live once. And so Roy is great, but I feel like with the guys that are happening nowadays that are live and dope, if you start checking them out too much and start pulling too much from them, when they come around and you play with them, what are you going to play when you're playing half of their shit?
Yeah, you're not going to sound, you're going to sound like them.
I feel like people are, I think it's a missed opportunity. So I'm like really into like Donald Byrd who's who had the Blackbirds and all that, and I love like Blue Mitchell, and Nick Payton, who is still nowadays, but like you can pick up a lot from Nick than just getting his lines. You don't have to. You can pick up his just whole concept of music and chordally and vibe and structure and space. He's become this like otherworldly kind of figure. But I'm checking out like Joe Henderson. I'm checking out like Chick from Return to Forever. I'm checking out like Brahms. I'm trying to get
Famous trumpet player, Brahms.
Yeah, you see? Sick. And then like Jimi Hendrix and Albert King and like George Jones and Merle Haggard. I'm like, I'm so cool. I listen to so many different things. But if I'm playing like Jimi Hendrix on trumpet, you'd be like, what is that? If I'm playing like a beautiful melody, like a George Jones, Dolly Parton ballad, you're like, dude, that was really nice. What was that? And it's like, I'm not doing Miles.
Did you ever get really weird? Did you ever get really into like Sun Ra or like
I'm a little vanilla, I guess, for lack of a better term, when it comes to like certain free avant-garde. Like I like Ornette, I like Late Train, but Sun Ra, I probably need to dig in deeper. I do like the art ensemble of Chicago a lot more, pretty much. But no, I guess like I need. Maybe that's why I'm kind of like a little stressed out. I think I need to listen. I'm gonna listen to some Sun Ra when I get out of here.
Yeah, it'll push
he's
your
still
brain in
alive.
a weird place. Yeah, he's great.
I feel like what a disservice to music, the fact that I'm not listening to that. That was good. That's a good reference. Good work.
And then also, I mean, you mentioned Tower of Power earlier. Like, I always think, like, I love talking about bands with like great horn sections and great like band sections. I mean, Tower of Power is a horn section.
Yeah.
But like, of course, you think about like the Chicagos of the world and everything else like that.
James Brown, P-Funk,
yeah,
Sly.
Like, who are your? Let me ask you to rank your horn sections.
Rank. Zoid.
You don't have to rank them. Just list them.
I mean, cheapers. I guess like top. It has to be JB's. It has to be James Brown, because they're like some of the originators of, what they'll do is they'll play like three of the horns will be like bop beep bop, and the other two will play like bop beat up. Like they can do multiple parts instead of just doing one big part. So they kind of really got that thing like a mini big band. And then they became Parliament and Funkadelic's horn section, really Parliament.
Yep.
And that is like the hippest writing, because you have Bernie Worrell and what he did, Talking Heads thing, but what he did with the horns and brought that Bach element to it. And it's great. And then I love Sly's horn section because of all like the Cynthia, the trumpet player, was not a crazy high note person. So the way they voiced things and the way they made like a mountain out of a molehill, like it's unbelievable. And of course, Tower Power is arguably one of the greatest.
I think more people need to know about Tower of Power.
I guess, yeah.
These days, like,
you're talking to me who knows a lot, but you're right. Other people that aren't us,
like, I think like band geeks know Tower of Power.
You're right,
like,
because of all the high note trumpet bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Because like it's great. It's great brass. It's great like sax.
Yeah,
like, but
high intensity, funky, short articulation,
lots of syncopation.
And I think that can be. I know, but like, in terms of like black music, I feel like it can be a little jive sometimes. I feel like there has to be, if it's all that, when you come in like instead of P-Funk, like that kind of, feels good. I mean, Tower Power can do anything, but I think a lot of like, I hated Tower Power when I was in high school because all the band geeks like that. And I'm like, I'm listening to Prince.
No, I'm the same way.
I'm like, y'all are jive.
But then I like I'll listen to like What Is Hip, and I'll be like, this is one of the greatest like songs.
Yeah, when I believe there's a record by the Meters in New Orleans who I love. I think it's New Directions, and I think they recorded the record, and then the engineer, there's like, I don't know how the story goes, but like he played them the record and they wanted it, and then they did it post.
Whoa.
It's
That's
real.
So cool.
It's one of their last records, if not the last record, Meters, before they broke up officially. So to have Tower of Power to play on that, I think you want a cool science experiment, like, go check that out. Like that's really
cool.
I believe so, so stuff like that. It's
and
so
are the
cool.
Meters doing like their classic, like kind of strut, like slow?
No, they're not discoed out, but it's like it's really like, in my opinion, like peak Meters, because it's like they're still very funky. The writing is cool. There's some pop elements, so they wanted to get some commercial aspects, but then no, they They just sound so great. I just love it.
Dude, hell yeah. Do you think there's like any current like cultural direction in like horn section music right now? Like,
Mm.
it's interesting because like I think of Lettuce in this scene, but like I also see these like, you know, great pop artists right now that I feel like are really developing their sound
Yeah.
around like a big band like feel. And like I kind of think there's like a lot of like sort of a golden age of like art that encompasses like all like old school funk and everything like that, like on a bigger level than just like, club music and stuff like
Hmm.
that, you
No,
know?
there's a lot of stuff going on now. I think everyone's using horns again.
Yeah.
Like I was just looking on Instagram, and all of my friends are just all my LA cats. They're playing with everyone. It's like it's kind of like you have to. They have these big budgets, so it's like filling out the section, filling out the sound, and horns are not just doing like the kind of Jerry Hay,
Yeah.
Quincy Jones thrillery like big horns or Tower Power. Like they're finding ways to be more like smooth and in the music, or like maybe like Chicago vibes. I just feel like there's and then like the way that like Lettuce does our horns, like we're only two horn players now. We're not like three and four like at
Yep.
one point it was. So
Yep.
we use a lot of effects.
Uh-huh.
We each, me and Ryan Zoid is a sax player, so we really are blending in like what is a horn section with different sounds, and doing it at the same time. Like Zoidus will play, he's got a different kind of synth pickup, and he'll play his dry horn, and he'll also have that at the same time, and I can do the same thing. So you, it's just become more textural. I think that's where we're at.
Do you like the added layer as a horn player
It's
of like
it makes it interesting. I feel like we're antiquated. I feel like there's a reason why we're the last one called for a gig versus a piano and drums and singers. So I feel like if you're going to be a modern horn player, you need to have these things to use when it's the right time. Because when I go to a horn section gig, I still sometimes will bring my pedal board because if I have a solo or I want to add something else. I mean, not just the horn section. It's like dry horns can be just like there's only certain things you can do, but with effects and reverbs and delays, you can really be more textural. And I think
that's so cool because that's like all that like late era Miles Davis stuff that people
exactly.
didn't like at
well,
the
then
time.
they didn't, but
now
it's like the hippest shit out there.
Right.
I mean, it was hip then, but yeah, you got guys like Keon Harold, who's a great trumpet player, and Theo Croker, and like so many cats that are like, what is the music they're playing? You can't even classify what that music is. It's just like dope, and it's got sounds and textures, and everyone's using so many different. It's just like, this doesn't have to be just so straight hitting you over the head all the time. You can like really vibe to it and space out, and I don't know, it's really beautiful.
So you have this new project album that's about to release. Cook, baby.
That's right.
And I'm so curious about the album, the project. When was the last Lettuce album before this?
Unify.
Okay, cool.
Which was I love that record.
Hell yeah.
And that was, I think, maybe a year or two ago. But actually, the one that just came out right before that, geez, we got a lot of things come out. We did a record with the Colorado Symphony, a live record.
Hell yeah.
When we had them arrange, we arranged them for our music. And it's like a 90 piece.
Whoa.
It's like a major, maybe 120, maybe 80, something.
Nice.
So that came out earlier this year, I believe. And that's
Lettuce with some timpani.
You ripping tip rip. Okay. So that's fabulous. But Unify was the last like Lettuce classic record, and now Cook is coming out, and it's hard to say what your best work is, but it's like we're not getting worse.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We're dialing in like just being, everyone's writing. I mean, a lot of the writing is Deitch, as it always has been, and Sheen's, and then Jesus has a couple, and then everyone adds their own things into it. Nigel will bring a cover and like flip it.
Yeah.
So we have some great vocals on the record, which is becoming a little bit bigger part of our sound. We don't want to get too vocal heavy because we are an instrumental funk band at heart.
Right.
And we, I think it's like a kind of like more for the time. There's like three like kind of hip hop feel tunes that you can just envision like 90 million of your favorite MCs on it. And
really,
oh gosh, it's like, what 7 Tribes, one of the songs, or The Storm's Coming. It's just like, so maybe you think Karangbing vibes, like it's our it's what we're pulling from all of our favorite influences and honing in our style. But it's fun. It's dope. You just want to vibe out to this. You could easily cook a 3-piece meal, chicken tender meal over this record.
Has Lettuce ever worked with any MCs?
We just did a single that just came out. One of our tunes called Waffles with a very famous MC rapper from New York that I'm totally spacing on his name. This is great. We just did a bunch with RZA. We were on the road with RZA.
That's right.
He opened for us and would sit in with us and do the whole thing. We did a thing at Bonnaroo years ago with most of Wu-Tang and all these other cats.
Awesome.
And over the years, we've worked with a lot of people. So yeah, we're
Was
kind
Raekwon in that?
Raekwon was not there. It was Jizza, RZA, Method Man was there, Redman was there, Deitch, and everyone in Lettuce has worked extensively with like
All the Wu-Tang,
or the Game. I mean, Maverick, Coombs is from Long Beach, so he's worked with Dre, everybody. Deitch wrote, tunes for like G Unit and so many other people. Like, it's a major. Lettuce is pretty hip hop,
very hip hop,
90s boys.
Yeah,
it's a really and it comes out in this record.
Nice.
It's still, it would never going to go away. It's a part of our DNA, and it really, we still have our we touch on all the areas that you want.
Yeah,
I think for a funk band.
That's so sweet. And then you have like all of this. You're doing all this like really creative stuff with with the album too. Like you have a recipe book.
Got a recipe book. Yeah.
Talk to me about the recipe.
Well, first of all, Zoid had an idea to get us all in is it another album? It was like old Latin kind of like Cuban album cover, and it's a bunch of we dressed up in all chef whites.
Yeah,
we're all in shit.
Y'all look great.
Big cauldron. It's hilarious. It's because generally we're all like serious, and all of our albums are like kind of like beautiful designs and like kind of trippy and heady. And now we're going like kind of fun, tongue in cheek, and because Cook is. That's what we do when you're making music. You're cooking, you're putting things together. That's what we do. It's a fun term. It's real. And then we also are all like kind of amateur chefs and all love to cook and drink and eat and do the whole thing. So it really is coming together. And we all have like our parents, a lot of the parents are our parents are like kind of chefs or old school cooking, family
cook,
family, which is beautiful. So we all kind of put a recipe in the book, and I had
What's yours?
Mine is I'm half Portuguese. I'm from New England, so that's where all the Portuguese people are, a lot of them. And I did this it was really cool, like kind of kale and chorizo soup. It's very hot, it's got like super caldo. It's like hot, it's this beautiful, very traditional soup over there with like kale, and you add a little you take the potato and you kind of you blend it after and you kind of thicken the soup up. It's
with the potato.
Yeah, just a small amount to kind of like not a potato leek soup, that consistency, but unbelievable. It's like just a great
and you use chorizo, so it's got like a little kick to it.
Not the craziest spice of all time, but just instead of Mexican chorizo where it's chopped up and kind of minced.
Yeah.
And it could be a little bit on the greasier side, will come out a little bit in cooking when it renders, but this is more like Spanish chorizo, like sausage. So it's bigger pieces,
nice.
It's great. And then Zoidus really big into Peruvian food right now. Our sax player, he's the big chef of the group, and we all learn.
Does he make a mean salt? What's it, saltado?
No, not Lomo Saltado.
Lomo Saltado,
but he
yeah.
Tigre, he is. So he it's pretty good. And I had a great chef friend of mine in Denver. Kind of let's dial it in for us and make sure everything looks good and it's cute and it's cool. It's it's not a big deal. It's just we're coming out with a little cookbook. I mean, it would be nice to get more serious into that. I know there are a lot of musicians that do stuff with food and wine, so I don't want to add to the noise, but we want to, we love, food and music. That's
well, you're named after food. It's literally in your name.
Did your homework. Great work. You did it again.
It's you want a lettuce wrap? You're gonna
tofu lettuce wrap. Crazy waterfall beef. Let's go.
It's like lettuce, yeah. Which one?
Exactly. It's great.
We talking romaine? We talking
Yeah,
like
big
you know, a
cabbage
little
for us.
iceberg?
Yeah.
Like
A little green leaf. Let's do it. Butter lettuce. Anyway,
no, that's badass, man. And then I think it's super cool that you guys are doing this, like doing wine, like the vino thing here too. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know if you can
this
see
is
it. Can you
cool.
see it over here? Where's
Yeah,
the
this is
cameras? I don't know.
awesome.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yep. So we had a friend design this, a really famous artist that did stuff in for MF Doom. He did the original artwork for that. And yeah, so me and Ryan Zoidis have a wine distribution company called Benny and Zoid Selections.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Casual
yeah,
music
that
and
whole-
wine distribution.
yeah, that whole thing. And it's in Colorado, so we bring in wines from all over the world, and we
Nice.
sell them to all the Michelin stars
Yeah.
and all the James Beard things, and all different places. So, and we've been drinking wine around the world, and we love organic, natural wine. We, if you're gonna drink, we like less taxing things on your body.
Exploded in the last couple
As it
years.
should. It's like you're supporting small people. It's not a bunch of suits. It's like people like us that are just trying to make it, and they're doing their own farming a lot of the times as well, and having a bigger hand for the, just not adding all the stuff to wine. There's a lot of additives in wine. It's really horrible. Even expensive wines that we all love. So anyway, I have a really cool friend from Tequila Cellars, who's one of the dopest organic natural wineries in Colorado, one of the highest vineyards in the country.
Awesome.
And he had some.
Where is it in Colorado?
It's in like the western slope, like near
like
Palisades.
Fruitia area?
What's Palisade, where they get the peaches
Yeah,
from? Like
yeah,
that
yeah,
whole
yeah.
Paonia, to be
Yeah,
exact.
Paonia. Yeah,
Paonia,
yeah.
Paonia.
Nice.
Nice, in fact, you know that.
Yeah.
So
I used to live in Aspen area, so
Oh, so you get it, yeah. So, and it's like a beautiful, it's some of the best peaches in the country. People don't know.
Palisade peaches.
It's
They're amazing.
unreal.
Yeah.
Because of how high and all the sun. It's actually, it's really cool. So, and then we decided to make a wine. I helped get the final blend and grow the grape. I'm not going to go it takes a long time to let grapes ferment and check in. You have to check in on it.
Yeah.
Be like,
They're
what?
little babies.
Yeah, it's like, it's like a weekend. It's like, what? Let's actually put it in another vessel. You know what? Actually, let's add some more free juice and take the skins away. There's so many last minute final decisions, and I'd like to do that one day. But so me and Zoid kind of dialed it in, and we made a cool orange wine blend and a cool red blend. I think we started with like 80 cases each. I think we're down to 20.
Whoa.
We sold like a lot of wine.
That's amazing.
And it's our first vintage, and we're going to use another winemaker next time, and then another winemaker that we rep, that we have relationships with all over the world, and it's just a great thing, and throw dope events and have chefs come and have natural wines and all these different styles.
Let's plug some restaurants here. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what restaurants you have.
That's
this
what I'm
in,
saying.
but,
We need some.
You're dropping James Beard stuff, and
come on.
I want to hear what are some of your favorite what are your favorites right now?
Well, I mean, in LA or like where I live?
Denver.
Oh,
Denver,
Oh,
LA,
yeah.
New York. It doesn't matter.
I mean, geez, there's so many. But in Denver, where I'm at, which a lot of people don't, think there's a good food scene, which I think is laughable.
Yeah.
There's a major Mexican and Latin American community there.
Huge.
Like huge Hispanic.
Yeah,
It's
huge.
unbelievable. The amount of taco trucks. I mean, LA doesn't count. LA is one of the greatest food cities in the world. You can't commit. It's like,
LA is as much of a melting pot as New York.
it's LA might have more.
Yeah.
It might be the greatest just for sheer numbers.
Mhm.
So, Denver, like the amount of taco trucks we have is unbelievable. There's a huge section for Vietnamese and actual like Chinese, like Star Kitchen.
Oh,
is,
nice.
is a very dope, like kind of, you can get the crabs out of the fish tank, but it's like a serious dim sum Sundays. There's an Hop Alley, and uncle, just this dude named Tommy, who owns these restaurants. It's like really like modern Chinese and then modern Japanese. And then you have my good friend's Yacht Club, which is one of the dopest cocktail bars in the country, and it's on Forbes Best 50.
That's great.
They went, I was winning Tales the Cocktail Awards, and they just opened up a new restaurant called Rougarou, and they're from Chattanooga, so it's like a New Orleans kind of southern kind of thing. And there's what else is Tavernetta, one of the dopest Italian. They won a James Beard for like service, I believe.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
great.
Real Italian.
Yeah.
And then my good friend, it's funny, there were a lot of great restaurants, and then the people that made the restaurant dope, the people on the team, kind of left. You're seeing a lot of this, and then they're opening up their own restaurants. So now, right, there are so many new restaurants in Denver, maybe too many sometimes, but like my good friend Chef Michael just opened up a Mexican City style taqueria called Molino Cheeto with the guy from Hop Alley.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
one. My other best friend, who's an owner of Benny and Zoid Selections, Paul, is opening up Florence Supper Club after his grandmother's name, like white and red checkered tablecloth, like chicken parm, but like done extremely well. I mean, the list goes on. There's so many places in Denver. LA, I don't, I'm trying to go to like Thai town. I'm trying to go to like Korean vibes. Like I'm not trying to Michelin star.
Dude, you don't need to eat Michelin star food in LA to have a wonderful experience. You can eat I think like you get the best bang for your buck in LA of any city when it comes to food. Like, if you know where to go.
Exactly. Like Little Armenia.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
And I was just kind of on a world tour, so I'm like, and I'm going home in 2 days, and I'm like sick of eating out. To be honest, like, I just want like,
you want to cook something yourself.
I want to cook, and I want to take.
You want your pans? Do you ever just like want your like
got the
your
cookware? I'm ready.
Like
my Japanese knives.
Right, like you have your knife, you have your cookware,
That's great.
And it's like, dude, you're not even making it for anyone other than yourself.
No.
It just is like comforting.
Yeah.
You know?
No, once again, cooking is just like music. It's like practicing. It's especially for a musician. I think it's really great to like get, put a record on and start cooking. You can see the process from there. It's like you're building a solo.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I really want it to go well because you put all this time into it. And I like to practice, and I do one dish for a while till I really feel like I have it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really fun.
I was pan frying some soft shell crabs the other night. And I was you know when you have like on my good steel cookware, has a little bit of a ring around the top, like
of course,
just like, use. And all I keep thinking about is like how when I worked in restaurants, I was like, that ring is like a ring of like love. Like,
that is,
it's like you don't really want to scrub it off and looking pristine. Like, that like just means that like you're using it. And it's like, and it's making good
a lot
shit.
of memories. A lot of memories in that pan.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to do that. But I'm only in LA for like a little bit. So I'm like, I went to original Tommy's Hamburgers finally last night.
Dude, it's good.
It's good. I'm not
Did you get the chili?
I did got the chili.
Yeah,
I'm not a chili. I like chili, but not on the burger. It was cool. But at 1 a.m., I'm definitely feeling it today.
Ooh, that's rough.
But I kind of fasted for the rest of the day, so I think I'm good. But now
I feel like of course everybody does tacos. Like
I know. I already had tacos, but I'm ready to go.
I just feel like though you have to like keep going with the tacos because if you you just can't run it back to the same taco stand
no,
twice. Like you got to go to a different one.
There's just so many, and I'm like, I'm just like, because I have one meal tonight, and then I'm playing tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's like, and my girlfriend's vegan once again, so it'd be great to like she loves LA, so I want to come back. Like I get a day, and I'll see you later, and then then we'll do a big vegan day.
Hell yeah!
It's like.
I mean, there's great vegan food.
This is one of the best vegan. It's probably the best in the country, hypothetically.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's kind of crazy. Here.
Well, like you guys are playing LA for New Year's at the Bellwether,
baby.
which is super cool. I hate to ask why. That's a weird question, but like, what's it like? I mean, like I said, I saw you guys in New York, like doing the post fish stuff back in the day, and
we're not really. Yeah, we don't really do those things anymore because we're getting older. We don't want to be up that late. But our management's our bass player lives here, and our management's based here, Regime, and they have a lot of connections here. And we're trying to make everyone loves LA. We want to be a little bit more in LA.
Yeah,
and there was an opening, and we were like. Because we don't work a lot during the winter. No one's December, not doing December tour.
Yeah.
So we're like, and we were just like, we don't want to not play. We'd love to play New Year's because musicians play New Year's. Like it's kind of like I'm just gonna hang out, go to a party. I'm like, what does that even?
Yeah.
I don't know what is even that.
Yeah.
So we got it. Yeah, we got a nice little gig at the Bellwether. It's such a great venue. Everyone in LA
great
loves
venue,
and the energy is just gonna be great. And the last time we played in LA, it was super successful and it was very packed.
What show was
it? It was
that?
a Novo, but we had a lot of people.
Nice.
And it was done. It was just great. So I'm really looking forward to coming back, and I think I might try to stay a little more extra and hang
Just
out.
go to a Lakers game.
And you
like,
know, see, there's a lot. There's so many gigs, so many musicians, so many people doing things. It's like
yeah.
sessions. There's just so much to do, and it's just like you can't come here for 2 days. It
That's
sucks.
like I think that's the creative energy that I think sometimes people miss about or don't understand like culturally about Los Angeles. And honestly, that was what drew me here from New York years ago, was that like the creative energy of LA that you don't see is like a really, really important dynamic of the city, you know, like in how it creates creative products at the end of the day.
There's just so much happening, and there's also the live scene here has gotten
amazing. We have so many venues now.
It's unbelievable, and as you should, because it's so big. But there's so many places, and now a lot of musicians are getting it as more work for people.
Yep.
Not just sessions and like touring gigs, and so it's like you can meet so many more people. And like I'm going to hang out with my old college roommate. He's got a gig at the Shoo Shoo Baby.
Oh hell yeah!
You know, or my other friends playing in Malibu, or we're going over here. There's so many. Or Gold Diggers tonight. There's like so many hip little venues.
Nice.
Like the friendships are getting deep.
Yeah, Gold Diggers is one of the I feel like one of the truly like great live music institutions in America. Like it's like a New Orleans style club.
Exactly.
In LA.
My friend Alex Wasili, who is he does Very Good Mondays.
Yeah.
And has built like a really great scene there, and just help build the scene. And there's just it's in. He plays in Dumpster Funk, which is the New Orleans, the legends, and is at the Maple Leaf. You know, it's like it is like that, like it's not kitschy, but it's like rocky, but also like chill. And
it's chill. It's like it has that like energy of like, hey, something like really special is going to happen, and only a small amount of people are going to witness it.
Yeah, I saw with the J3PO and I just finally met him, and then Justin Brown, and then 2 other cats I forget on bass and guitar, and it was like serious high level music. It's like the best musicians in the world are here, just ripping on a Monday, and like, of course, New York is dope, and it will always be dope, and it's the greatest, whatever. But like, there's so much shit happening here. It's like I'm like, I need to just sit in the back and take notes. It's unreal.
What are some of the like? Do you session?
Yeah,
gig a lot.
Yeah.
Like, what have you played on?
Oh geez, and recently a lot of electronic things and
like
a lot of pop gigs. Like I've done stuff for like Grizz. I've done stuff for like Pretty Lights. I've done stuff for like Big Gigantic and that kind of stuff. I don't do a lot of like kind of
that's
poppy.
So Denver.
It is because I'm there.
All of them.
It's like it's easy because there's not a lot of guys to know how to play.
Yeah.
Like that. Opio and all these other guys. But like I don't do a lot of R&B things anymore. I mean, I was doing a lot of stuff with like Krasno would call me for things. But now I'm just like, I'm working so much into my wine company. I'm like, you know what?
Did you ever play with Soul Live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For years. Yeah.
Did you do any of the Bowlive shows?
All of them.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Those were amazing.
Those are fabulous. So we got to play, every single night out of the 13, 12, 10 nights, 2-week period, there's a new guest. Or 2.
Yeah.
So you have to learn all that music every night. No music on stage.
Those are seriously like that
exciting.
That run is so cool. And I always tell people that I'm like, if you're not familiar with Soul Live's music, you don't need to be like, you don't need to understand their catalog or anything like that to experience those shows. Like you just like have to be in the room because they're just incredible.
They're a killing trio and old friends of Lettuce, and 2 of the members, they also played in Lettuce at a certain point. There's a big crossover, but and they're just great. And those Bowlive, you get to play with a different musician every night, and you really get to challenge yourself. And like Run DMC one night, and Maceo Parker, Dr. John, like the list goes on. It's like it's pretty special. And Lettuce, we still do now. We get to do some of that. Like we have a lot of special guests over the years, so it kind of help train.
I always like my barometer on like how special that was always like if I would see Pete Shapiro like at the show,
raging, buying shots, tequila,
like chilling on the like by the top. I was like okay, like and dude, by the end of the night, sometimes on a Bowlive show, it would be kind of empty in there, but he would still be like hanging out. Like
Pete Shapiro is a very special guy to a lot of people. That's definitely us, but he when he started, it's either the last night or the first night, he'd come with a whole tray of tequila shots. Even if you don't like really drink, you don't have to drink. But it's just like, all right, boys, here we go. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm trying to remember my music. I'm tequila out immediately. Hey guys, we got a level we're playing for tonight. Thanks for coming, boy. But it's great. But
those high notes, you're not really like you
yeah,
know, you're stumbling through them.
yeah, you gotta watch, and you're on video, you know. But yeah, Lettuce has really trained us for like, you know, keeping it together. And now Lettuce is in a really great place to just we're just high output, a lot of great music and a lot of great different things happening.
Amazing. So I have one last question that I'm
Sure.
gonna ask you. This is like a thing that I've started doing lately.
I love it.
All right. Name 5 bands that you're into right now.
Oh, The Cure. Who else am I really into? What's it? Yumi Zuma? I'm
Nice.
checking them out now. Super cool.
What describe Yumizuma?
It's like it's like this shit, right? They're just like feel good. I'm walking. It's like kind of poppy melodies, but like kind of 80s production. Is that it? I'm kind of going back to like 80s like stuff. I want to like, you know, stuff like that. Who am I really into like right now? Like funk. Braxton Cook is a really great saxophonist. Has been doing a lot of stuff. I'm really into. I'm kind of getting back in. I'm getting back into the Dead.
Nice.
Like, you know,
Dead.
like live stuff and how they improvise together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how like textures. And once again, I'm always into classical music, but now I'm really big in on Schubert.
Schubert. Why Schubert?
Because he's like that in between, like super crazy harmony, classical stuff, and like Baroque, and a little bit like kind of safe. Schubert, Schumann,
That's awesome.
that kind of stuff. And who else am I? Emily King. Emily King is a singer out of New York. Oh gosh, she is just. Kraz, I think, helped produce or was a part of that at some point, but just I don't even know, you know, just a fabulous guitar player, singer, just beautiful, kind of soul based.
Yep.
But like, you know, how do you even describe her anything anymore? But just Emily King is serious. I can keep going on, but I have to bring out my Spotify.
That rocks. Bloom. Dude, this is it. We're good.
Sick.
Yo, thanks so much, bro. Appreciate you showing up.